Yesterday my friend Joel took the bus from Montreal back to Toronto, and he told me something really freaky. Basically we have like internal checkpoints now in Canada when you take the bus. They don't check you when you get on the bus in Montreal, in Quebec, but when they got to Ottawa, it was like going through security at an airport. They made everyone get off the bus, they checked everyone, they patted everyone down and checked them over with metal detectors, and they even checked their carry-on luggage. And the reason, well, the rationale for this, which is ridiculous, was based on this gruesome incident that happened last year where a guy got murdered, got stabbed like 50 or 60 times on a Greyhound bus, and then he got decapitated. So now it's like boarding a plane. And actually, a weird thing too is there's this website, I'll put up the link, it's like called National Terror Alert or something, and basically all violent incidents are listed as like terror attacks. So if a guy got murdered on a bus, that's like a terror attack now, whereas before it would have just been a murder. So so now when you take the bus into Ontario, you're subjected to the same kind of security measures as you are when you take a plane. But see, here's there's a couple things I want to mention. Okay, one, if you go on that National Terror Alert website and you read the article, and then you watch the live, well, the interview from one of the people who were there, a witness. He'll recount what happened, and one of the things he mentioned, which is not mentioned in the written part, is that, see, they kind of put a limit on what happened because they kept the guy in the bus, they disabled the bus, and they shut the door, and they waited till the police got there. What he mentions, which is key, is that the three of us were armed. You see, maybe if they hadn't been armed, there would have been more than one victim. Maybe there would have been 5 or 10. But 3 of the people who were on the bus with that guy who murdered this guy, 3 of them were armed. Because, see, when you're armed, you have some power to defend yourself. So, rather than, you know, saying now we have to check everyone for guns and knives, well, that's not a good solution, because actually that's just gonna, that's not gonna end violence. I mean, there's lots of ways that you can kill somebody or take over a bus or do terrorism or whatever you want to call it. I mean, so they check you for knives and guns. Well, what else are they going to do? Are they going to check you for like sarin nerve gas or some kind of explosives or something, a liquid bomb? I mean, where are you going to draw the line? What about a rope or something? I mean, you can garrote somebody with a little wire. You know, there's lots of ways that you can hurt people and kill people. But if the solution is to take away everyone's weapons, well, all you're doing is making people more vulnerable. Okay, well, that's what I really believe. I mean, what's the price you're going to pay for your supposed safety? How safe are you really going to be? You know, and then that's not going to work, so then they're going to have to take it further and further and further until you have to go through like a naked scanner just to get on the bus to go to the next town. So that was one thing, that actually the other people being armed was what limited this attack to one person. 2, one thing that they mentioned about the guy on the bus was that he was like a robot. He had no expression. Just out of nowhere, he just stood up and started stabbing the guy behind him. And he wasn't paying attention to anything else, anyone else on the bus. Had no expression, he didn't talk. Well, there is such a thing as a sleeper. I don't know if you've heard of this, but maybe you have. The CIA will hypnotize people and program them so that they will then on cue commit some crazy violent act, so that then the government can react to this by saying that they have to improve people's safety by taking away gun ownership rights and things like that, or putting metal detectors and stuff like that. So by the way that the guy's described, it really to me looks like he was a sleeper. I'm going to put a link so you can read about sleepers some more, but to me this is like a total black op. And the result is that now, you know, we have basically an internal checkpoint. And the other thing is, a Greyhound bus, it's only being done on a Greyhound bus right now. So if you take a Greyhound bus, you're at more risk than if you take a Voyageur bus, because you don't get checked on a Voyageur bus, so that makes no sense. And you remember some guy with a machine gun went into a McDonald's, so are we going to have people going through scanners and metal detectors to go into McDonald's? Are we going to have them go through this every time they enter a public building? Maybe we should just have constant x-ray machines on every corner, x-raying everybody at all times. See, that you cannot have complete control, make everybody safe by doing those things. It's impossible. And all you're going to do is actually make people less safe, because now they're victims of the government. They're victims of tyranny. And of course, the ultimate solution to all of this is to have us all microchipped, so they can control everything we do all the time. So, you know, here the police state is making some kind of progress. I think it's total insanity.